What is up, y'all? My name is Idara Ekpoh, and I'm really excited to be here with y'all for today's pro tip. We're going to be in Adobe Photoshop today, where I'm going to talk about expanding the background of your portraits. And so I'm really excited because we're going to go over the new Generative Expand tool in Photoshop. If y'all haven't updated to the Photoshop 2024 version, you definitely should. But I'm really excited to be here with y'all. Go ahead and drop in the chat where you're joining from. I'm looking at it. I'm joining from hot and sunny. Actually, no, the weather is actually kind of good right now. But I'm joining from Phoenix, Arizona. So let me know where y'all joining from. But really excited to get into this tip. We don't have much time, but I do have a couple of different photos to show y'all. And we're going to go ahead and hop right into Photoshop. So as you can see right here, I have one of my favorite portraits that I probably have ever taken to this date. It was actually the cover photo for today's pro tip as well. I wanted to show y'all how I planned to expand this backdrop. Now, to give you a bit of context, so when I shot this, it was meant to be horizontal. I was not planning for it to be like a regular 8x10 portrait. But fun fact, I did have an art exhibition this past August. And the layout that I decided to have for my art exhibition was to have portraits, right? So instead of horizontal, there would be more so, so there'll be the portrait format, exactly. So you can see here that all of these are regular portraits that I took, but if you can see here in the corner, this photo is now in portrait, whereas originally it was a horizontal shot photo. And so I want to go ahead and expand this backdrop, because if I were to let's say I was just gonna crop it, right? And let's just make a random square right there. And if I was to crop this image, I don't like the way that looks, because I feel like I've now focused in on my subjects instead of focusing on really the entire location. The location adds so much to this portrait. So I didn't want to just crop the horizontal image, because I felt now my subjects in the middle became the most important part of the photo, when they're really just supposed to be a small element. So instead of just cropping it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first expand my backdrop. So the first thing I always do, if you look over here, I always try to make a copy of my layer. So I'm going to click on it and click on Command J just to make a copy. In case I make any mistakes, I can go ahead and erase that and just delete the copy and start off fresh without messing with the original file. And then I'm going to come over here to this crop tool. And what I'm going to do is expand where I really want Photoshop to fill in for me. So because I want this to be more of a portrait style, so I can print it in 8x10, or in the case of the art show, they were printed as a 24x36. I'm going to expand above and below my portrait. So I want to expand the sky and I want to expand the sand. So if I go ahead and drag this up, okay, my computer froze for a little bit. It was freaking me out. And if I expand that up, and I'm getting this little spinning wheel. Okay, perfect. If I expand this down, kind of try to gauge how much space I may want. So, and honestly, I can get really crazy with it for now. Okay, let's start there. And then I'm going to click right here at the bottom. You'll see where it says Generate Expand. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on that. I'm going to click agree. And then I'm going to click. I'm not going to put any prompts in here. I think that if I just press generate, it'll go ahead and assume what areas of the photo that I want to expand out. So I'm going to click on generate, and we're going to load and see how long this takes. Actually, quite quick. Let's see what that look does for us. Hopefully my computer doesn't freeze in the process. Let's see. It's taking a minute. I think it's still thinking. It's almost there. Do y'all ever get that little spinning wheel? The spinning wheel of death. It kind of freaks me out every time I get it. So I'm like, please, let's just expand the backdrop. Okay, so I think it's almost done loading. And come on. Oh my goodness, I'm starting to panic small. Oh my goodness. Yeah, my computer needs its morning coffee. It's too early for this. What's going on? Well, I hope y'all are having a great, great morning. Okay. So I'm afraid if I close out of this or force quit it, it's going to do something I don't want it to do. So I'm just going to try to let it think a little longer. Spinning, that's a good trick. And if anybody has any advice of what I should do in this moment, please do let me know. But I'm a little bit afraid to. Oh my gosh. Whew, beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and deselect right there. So as y'all can see, that was able to expand the background. Now it took a minute. My computer is still waking up, but we were able to expand the backdrop from this to this. And you can see that what I really love is that it was able to automatically pick up what areas of the photos needed to be expanded. So you can see that the sky seamlessly was expanded just beautifully, and the same thing with the sand here. And the other great part of this generative expand option is that if I wanted to see different variations, I could as well. So if I were to click, I can see different variations. It's really only changing the sand. So the little riffles that are in the sand, hopefully you guys can see that. I'm gonna make this a little bigger. But the little riffles that are in the sand, that's the only thing that's giving me different variations of. But for the most part, I think, let's see, which one do I like the most? Kind of like this second one. Yeah, I think I like the second one the most. So again, this is your before and after. And if I wanted to expand it a little bit more, I could. I probably will not just because of what just happened. But if I wanted to go ahead and crop this, and usually I would crop in maybe Photoshop, or excuse me, in Lightroom. But let me just go ahead and from the top to bottom, make more of a crop of this right here with my subjects in the middle. And let's crop that. And you can see there, I now prefer that the way that this portrait looks because my subjects aren't so close up in the frame. They're a little further out. You get some more of the riffles, you get some of the sky, and it still gives me that dreamy effect that I really was going with this shoot. I went all the way to the dunes. It was like a 3.5 hour drive from Phoenix, Arizona. So I want to make sure that in this portrait, you're getting as much of that sand, the dreaminess from the sunset that was occurring. You can see some of the colors that are over here from the sunset. I really wanted to make sure that my subjects weren't the pivotal point of this image, but that you were still getting the entire view and the entire vibe. So that is how I would use Generate Expand for this image. So just taking you again from here. Let's see if I go back. Taking you from here, where we were before, to here. So that is one example of that. Now I have this portrait of one of my friends that I did for he has a really dope gym wear apparel brand. And so I took this photo just when we were just like messing around, and I really liked how it looked. Just to give you guys some context, this is the before image of that shot. We shot it in the studio. You can see how it was on a cyclone wall. You can see how dirty the ground is, the little light that's at the top. I did originally do my color grading of this image in Lightroom just because when I shoot, I usually import everything into Lightroom. And then once I finish in Lightroom, then I'll go into Photoshop to do whatever I might need to do, whether that is any form of maybe skin editing, any additional color grading, etc. But in this case, I kind of want to just clean up the background a little bit. And then I really have this idea of expanding this photo out a bit more. I want him to be kind of smaller and all this empty white space. So it just kind of exaggerates the fact that he's kind of floating in the air. So what I'm going to do here is the same thing as before. Let me go ahead and make a copy of my background just like that. Oliver said Jack was having some issues with generative recolor earlier. Maybe Firefly was having a bad day. Maybe, because it can't be me. I came prepared today. I came as prepared as I could today. Perfect. So I'm going to come over here and no, that's not the tool I want. Where's the lasso tool? Okay. I see this light here. I really don't care for it. I think that it just kind of is distracting in my photo. So I'm going to go ahead and make a quick circle around it. And my idea is I want to fill that up. So I want Photoshop to kind of use this knowledge to kind of get an idea of how to best cover up this light. So I could have, in past days, what I would have done was use the clone stamp tool, and I'll show you guys. Just click on the clone stamp tool, probably pick up a bit smaller brush size, and I literally would have sat here and tried to cover it up. And then you have to make sure it's like as accurate as can be, and it takes up all this time, and we don't got time. Okay, the biggest motto that I have for 2023, especially also going into 2024, is to use my time wisely, and Photoshop is going to help me with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw a circle around this light and try to keep that circle there, right there. Perfect. And I'm gonna click on Generate Fill. And the same thing before, if I wanted to put a prompt in here, I could, but I think Photoshop should be able to look at the rest of the background and kind of get an idea of what it should do with this specific spot. So I'm going to click Generate Fill, and we're going to cross our fingers that Photoshop will not give me any trouble this morning, because we don't need any more trouble. We really don't. So far, so good. Ooh, it paused. Oh, I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon, y'all. I spoke too soon. All right, I'm going to leave it, and come on. Yeah. Ooh. A win is a win. So I'm going to go ahead and let me see if I can just move this a little bit. Oh, can I not? No. Okay. So again, it'll show me different variations. For the most part, it's the same. All these different variations that are over here in the corner don't really matter. It kind of took that care of that. So that before and after, we had that light there. Now it's gone. And now I feel like that portion of the photo that was a bit more distracting is gone. And let's say I wanted to come in. I'm kind of curious to see if I were to well, actually, this is a really big line here. There are lines on the ceiling, but for the most part, I'm okay with it. I might, if I had more time, I probably would go in and try to clean this all up. I don't know if you all can see, but on the ceiling, okay, that looks a lot better. But on the ceiling, you have some of these lines here. Let me zoom in a bit more. You can see the actual ceiling and the texture and lines on the wall. What I would probably do is try to clean that up a bit. And I'm not sure if I were to use Generative Fill, if it would clean that up for me. Oof, dang it, hold on. We can try. If not, I would probably just go in and just try to clean up some of these lines as best as I could to make it blend a bit more with the rest of the wall. So I'm just kind of trying to highlight my entire spot. Oh, and I clicked deselect. Oh goodness, can I just go back? Okay, great. Let's try without a prompt and see what happens here. It's a pretty big space, so I feel like that's gonna get my computer to think a little bit more. Let's see. Carol said, ain't nobody got time for that. All right, let's see. Because we really ain't got the time. We ain't got the time. I'm not the one, nor am I the two. I just want a very smooth. Ooh, it's scaring me again, y'all. Okay, so it kind of actually did a pretty good job. Oh, okay, I can work with this. I think I can work with this. Okay, I like that more. So, oh. Okay, let me bring this to the top. Oh, there we go. That's why. So it actually cleaned that up perfectly. Come on, Photoshop. That is what I love to see. Do y'all see that? Come on. That cleaned that up nicely. So if y'all, let me just zoom in a little bit more. Hopefully y'all can see the texture that I'm talking about. But if you look right here at the ceiling, there's all of this texture here, which I didn't really like because you can see the direct difference from the backdrop to the ceiling. So Photoshop just went ahead and cleaned that up for me. So now I feel like the image is a lot more cleaner. I'm not seeing the difference between that cyclone wall as well as the ceiling that we had. There is, no, that's my computer screen. I was like, there's a little mess down here, but that's not in the photo. That's my screen that needs to be cleaned. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing that I did before with expanding the backdrop. Like I mentioned in the very beginning, I really, really want him to kind of have that feeling more so that he's floating and there's just so much space in the image. So in cases like this, I really think that a lot of negative space can be really beautiful. And so I'm just gonna be dramatic and let's just expand it out. And what I should have done, hold on. Hold on. Oh, no, hold on. Don't do that. Oh, no. I wanted to hold down shift so I can get it exact, but I did not do that. So let me see what this is going to do. Okay, let's cancel. Can I cancel that? Okay, great. So let me hold down shift so that way it maintains the portrait. All right, and I still want him kind of in the middle. So let's do that. So I've just kind of expanded it out. I have all of this negative space. I'm gonna click, I'm not gonna put any prompts like I mentioned before. I'm gonna leave that empty and I'm just gonna click generate. And let's see what that does for our image. That's a lot of negative space for Photoshop to fill up. So let's see. I clicked generate, right? Yeah, I did. Oh, see, the spinning wheel of death is back. So let's see if it's gonna go ahead and, no, you know what? I have a lot of hope in my computer right now. I think that it's gonna, I believe in it. It might be a little slow. You know, she might not be moving fast as the new girlies that are out on the street. Okay, there's a new like MacBooks and monitors, but she's still working. She's still thinking. All right, let's see. So it says it's in progress. Let's see. I wish I had some like soft elevator music in the background, like some do 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 do. You know, a little entertainment for y'all. Let's see. Okay, so it's going. I probably need to update my actual computer, so that's probably why it's moving a little slow. I'm the kind of girl that waits a little bit too long to update, and there's all these new updates for everything. I tend to put it off, so I'm wondering if that's causing some of the delay there. Ooh, come on, come on. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Give me my image. Come on. Oh. All right, what's going on? Come on. Still thinking. Oh my goodness. How long do y'all think this is gonna take? I do want to emphasize that I don't believe that this is Photoshop. This is likely my computer. I do have a software update for my iMac that I have not updated. And I think like when I first downloaded Photoshop 2024, it did tell me to update my computer. I was like, okay, girl, I'll do it. And I still haven't done it. So I think that is more of me. Oh, Firefly is a she. No, not gender neutral. Would I be saying her or she? Like, I just be. That's just what I call her. I'm more so speaking to my computer. Like, she's not getting it together right now. She's a little. Okay, so I'm a little afraid that if I close out of this, it's going to do something. It might have been too much space for my computer right now to try to, well, okay. We're stuck here, y'all. We are stuck. I'm excited to see what the image looks like, but I think we're stuck here right now. All right, and every time I look to my right, y'all, I'm just looking at the chat to see if there's any kind of questions or comments. And it seems like everyone is just kind of trolling with me when it comes to this backdrop or this whole situation. Okay, let's see. Does anyone have a tip for what I should do? Should I just be patient? Maybe I'm being impatient. I'm getting a little nervous again. I know it's worked for us in our favor twice now, but oh, come on, come on, come on. Oh, it's generating again. Oh, wow. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think this should be able to work now. It's almost done. What I would probably recommend, especially if you've not done a computer update like I have not done. Do I have any other apps open? No, I do not actually. I closed everything before I started this live. So I don't think well, there's some apps that actually naturally stay open more so, but I do have some open. Let me see if I can just, I'm afraid if I do that, then I'm gonna be popping things on the screen. So let's just try one more time. I have a couple apps that are, I think they're closed, but in the background, they're still kind of open. All right, I think I'm gonna cancel this if I can. Nope, we can't. Let's see. Computer says no. Yep, my computer is saying no for today. It's saying it's a Monday. Even it's getting gloomy outside. It's just, I guess, not the day for this. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't want my whole stream to be like loading. I feel like half of the stream thus far has just been my computer loading. Okay, so let's see what we can do. I literally feel like I can't do literally anything until this is done. All right, let me just leave it and give it a moment. What do y'all have planned for the day? Any fun activities? Any fun projects y'all are working on? I just did like I mentioned, I did an art exhibition back in August, displayed some old and new work. And I feel like now I have this newfound inspiration to keep on shooting and working. So I'm trying to brainstorm, create some mood boards for some future projects. But do y'all got anything cool going on? Let me know in the chat if you do. At least we can talk about some projects if that could be the case, because Photoshop don't want to work. She don't want to work. My computer. Okay. So I don't know if I should just shut it down because we've been sitting on this for a while, but I can't even see if I come here. Let me see if I can just force quit. Okay, not my Finder. Don't need that open. Okay. Do y'all think it's fine if I just force quit? Ooh. Ooh. If I force quit, is that smart? I don't know. Could someone let me know in the chat if that's smart or if I should just wait it out? Because I'm close to just force quitting it and then just opening back these apps. But I'm afraid of what that could happen. What will happen if I do that? So let's just give it a second. But the idea, in case anyone just joined the stream and you're just seeing a man jumping in the air, holding his legs with a white and red backdrop, what I was trying to do, what we were displaying throughout the live, is utilizing generative expand, which the idea that I like to use it for is expanding the backdrops in my portraits. I might shoot something and only be able to get, especially depending on the focal length that I was using on my camera, the specific lens. I only might get a certain amount of background in my photo. So this is a really great tool because I get to automatically extend my backdrops. Now, in this case, as you're seeing with the spinning wheel, I did not update my computer, and clearly that is the issue here. But what I would say is in a lot of cases, what's really great is that in the first photo that was horizontal, I wanted it to be a portrait. So I extended the background, recropped the photo, and was able to get a different perspective than what I had before. The idea I wanted to do with this photo was also expand the background to kind of give him some negative space, to have him in the middle, kind of floating in the air. So that was the idea. What you're seeing in the middle is just kind of the original photo. We did a little bit of cleanup with generative fill, and then trying to use generative expand to expand out the backdrop. But of course, we are still loading here. Let's see. I see that Carol said a Halloween project, series of labels for illustrative 3D bottles. Oh, that's actually nice. I want to learn more about that. Oh, 3D bottles. A Halloween project would be, actually, that's the time of year. I usually try to do, well, actually, I always want to do like a Halloween kind of theme project or portrait shoot, and I always never get around to doing it. So maybe this year. There's still a lot of time. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and force quit because I have lost my patience. And we're just going to go ahead and do that. All right. Force quit. Photoshop 2024 not responding. Force quit. Let's see what that does. Okay, so it said it quit it. Beautiful. So I'm going to come back. Let's go back here, applications, and let's just open up Photoshop again. Because I don't got the patience. I'm a very patient person. I think I waited quite a bit before doing that. So let's see. So this is what I'm opening. These are my photos ready to go. Oh, Lordy, Lordy. Wipe it out, all of it. Yep, General, that's all I could do. You could put this guy anywhere with Firefly. Okay, now Photoshop does not want to open. Lovely. All right, y'all. Well, that was not so great, but I do apologize for all of the issues with my computer. I know that we are running towards time, but I really wanted to show you guys again. Well, we were at least able to do it with the first image. So if you are watching the stream, I would encourage you to go back and watch the first portion of it with the dunes photo, because we were able to take that photo and expand the backdrop. That was this image. And so instead of it just being a horizontal image, we turned it to a portrait using that generative expand. The same thing I could have done with the first image as well. The second image, excuse me. I think that what the biggest tip I will give y'all today, outside of what this whole generative expand, is to make sure you have your computer updated, because I think I'm going to troubleshoot after this, but I think that might have been some of the issue. But I appreciate y'all for staying with me. Y'all have kept me entertained throughout all of this. I hope you have a wonderful day, and make sure that you stay tuned, stay around for the next photography Adobe live stream that's about to come up. Have a great day.